Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari 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 Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra Jaya Sudarshan Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jai Subhadra, Jai Sudarshan, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai, Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai, Jai Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Jai Gurudev 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 Jai Jai Gurudev Jai Jai Gurudev 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 Jai Jai Gurudev Jai Om Vishnupada Prabhu Saprajakacarya Stuta Shishmadave Charnarveda Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupada Prabhu Saprajakacarya Stuta Shishmad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaur Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navdev Dham Ki Jai मथुरा धाम की जय द्वारका धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा मैया यमुना मैया की जय तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय समेत भक्त वृंद की जय All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna Shri Guru Gauranga ki jai Jai Gaur Premanande Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurudmitaye Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. All together please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyamadi Pashatya Devi Shatari. Hare Krishna. So heartfelt gratitude to all of you for taking out your valuable, precious time to study Bhagavad Gita as it is by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So we are reading chapter 3, Karma Yoga, 17th verse onwards we will discuss. So in short, in this chapter, we could see that one cannot remain without action. One has to perform prescribed duties. And we could understand that different varna, different ashram, so there are different prescribed duties to all categories of people. And one must execute those prescribed duties. And what is the purpose of prescribed duty? Why we need to do our responsibilities? The purpose of execution of our prescribed duty is purification of heart. Right? So we have to always remember why we are following rules and regulations, why we are doing duties. So the ultimate purpose is purification of heart. And we can purify our heart when we follow the process. First, we have to know that we have to do our duty. Without performing action, we cannot remain, we cannot survive. Now, second point is how to do activity. Action is important, but how to do? So we learned in our last session that every action must be performed for the pleasure of Lord, and that is known as yajna. Yagyat karmano anyat lokoyam karma bandhana tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. So we learn this, and this is what the most important topic we are learning from Bhagavad Gita. One of the most important Bhagavad Gita is known for, that we all have to perform our duties, we have to do action. I mean, even most of the people say that I know Bhagavad Gita, I'm doing my activity. No, but we have to understand how to perform those activities. Not only action is important, but intention behind that action, attitude or intention. We have to understand how to perform. What should be the intention behind that activity? And Krishna is teaching here that one should act for the pleasure of the Lord. Right? So we could see the cycle of sacrifice, how everything we are getting, our basic necessities of life, water, food, everything we are getting from divine arrangements. We are not manufacturing all these things, are we? Water, food grains, sunlight, All these are the basic necessities of life. And we are not manufacturing it in any factory. We are getting all these things by the divine arrangement. And that's why it is our responsibility to reciprocate. It is our responsibility to be grateful for all these things we are getting from. And how we can reciprocate or how we can be grateful? By following the process of yajna, by following the process of sacrifice, right? So this is the cycle. If we offer it back, or if we are grateful and following the process of yajna, following the process of sacrifice, then we will be always happy, peaceful and prosperous. This is what Krishna is teaching. If we simply take and do not give it back to nature, do not reciprocate with divine arrangements, then we will never be satisfied, we will never be happy. And eventually, gradually, what we see that lack of resources, natural resources. Sometimes people think that it is just because of the increment of population, resources are reduced, or there is lack of resources, a scarcity of food, a scarcity of so many natural resources. But this is not the real reason. This is not the root cause. Population is not the cause. Nature has sufficient to provide everyone. It's just because now we are not reciprocating. We are not following the process given in the scriptures, that is yajna. And also we could see that if we do not reciprocate, we do not follow the process of yajna, if we are simply taking resources from nature, from divine arrangement, if we are not doing our part, so such kind of person known as thief, bhungte stena yavasa, one who is eating food without offering to Krishna. Food means whatever we are receiving, we have to offer it back, or we have to offer it and then accept it. Being acknowledging. Offering means like acknowledging. By the mercy of Lord, I am getting it, so we have to acknowledge it. So when we do it, then it is fine. But if we do not do it without acknowledging, because everything belongs to Krishna and we are taking from Krishna, and we are not acknowledging, we are not offering it to Krishna, then that is sinful activity. And any kind of sinful activity we do, we get sinful reaction in the form of suffering. Right? So if we want to get free from all sinful reactions, then we have to follow the process. We have to acknowledge, we have to offer it back to. So this is what Krishna is teaching. So the point is, at the last shloka, 16th verse, Krishna says, Evam pravartitam chakram nanvartayati haya aghayur indriya aramo mogham partha sajivati. My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice thus established by the Vedas certainly leads a life full of sin. So these are the Vedic instructions, and we must follow that, otherwise we will lead a sinful life. So living only for the satisfaction of the senses, such a person lives in vain. So there are two kinds of people. One, only leading or living life for sense gratification. And another kind of person who is living life for self-realization. So sense gratification and self-realization. These are the two objectives of our life. Means two kinds of people. So sense gratification we all know about, right? No God conscious life. Sense gratification means just enjoying the senses. Eyes wants to see something, some beautiful, we know about. So a few new devotees are there, so that's what I'm explaining. But sense gratification means simply enjoying independently, without God. No rules and regulations, not following the instructions of God. Simply understanding that I am this body. No knowledge of soul. And with this understanding that I am this body, whatever is going to satisfy this body, I'm doing that. Just this is the only eat, drink and be merry. No higher purpose in life. This is called a life of sense gratification. But we know that the life, human form of life, is not just not for sense gratification. This is for higher purpose. This human body is very special. Why it is special? Because in this life we can do self-realization. So self-realization is the goal of life. Yes. So now one kind of people like who are engaged in sense gratification, so they are recommended. Okay, maybe as of now we are not self-realized. Self-realized means, what does it mean? Self-realization. Knowing this fact that I am not this body, I am soul. Knowing that I am part and parcel of Krishna. And I have a loving relationship with Krishna. And in that relationship, executing our duties. Yeah. So seeing everything in relation to Krishna. That is self-realized soul. So self-realized soul means a person who is self-realized. Point here is that if somebody is not self-realized, somebody is having desire for sense gratification, so it is recommended here that at least one should follow the process given in Vedas, a Vedic scripture. At this point of time, we may not be realized soul, but what we can do? We have desires and we have to fulfill those desires. So how we should fulfill those desires? At least we should follow the process. So why? If we follow the process to fulfill our personal desire, simply by following that process, gradually, eventually, our heart will be purified. Heart will be purified. Purified heart means that we will not be attached, or we will not be, we will understand that my objective, my goal of life is not sense gratification or satisfying my senses, but satisfying the senses of Krishna. Rishikena Rishikesha Rishikena Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. This is what devotion means. The purpose of life is to please Krishna, is to satisfy Krishna or to get Krishna. So gradually when we follow the process, then we will reach to this conclusion, this understanding. So this is called self-realized person. One who knows himself, one who knows the purpose of life. So now what Krishna is saying, Yastvatmaratirev syadat atmatriptasya manava atmanyeva cha santushtas tasya karyam na vidyate. But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. Right? So one who is self-realized, he has no duty. He has no duty. So like in the beginning of this chapter, Arjuna asked, he thought I should renounce, I should not engage in sinful activities or this ghastly activity, warfare. So he wanted to renounce, and Krishna said, no, you should not do that. You should act. Because immature renunciation is not good. So now here he is saying, a self-realized person, he can renounce the work. A person who is self-realized. And what are the qualities of a person who is self-realized? He is saying, takes pleasure in the self. Atma, Rati. And whose human life is one of self-realization. Who knows that the purpose of life is self-realization, not sense gratification. And he is always endeavoring for that only. His all efforts, his all activity is meant for self-realization, right? Who is satisfied in the self only. He is satisfied. Atmatushta, Atmarati. So, for him there is no duty. Duty means, again, prescribed duty. The rules and regulations or the activities mentioned in the scriptures. So we discussed what is the objective of prescribed duty, why somebody is following prescribed duty, or why one should follow.
Become Krishna consciousness.
To become Krishna conscious. Becoming Krishna conscious means purification of heart. Once heart is purified means we have become Krishna conscious, God conscious. We are pure. This is the sign of purity. When we are closer to Krishna, when Krishna is there within heart, then we are purified. Because when we know Krishna, when we have accepted Krishna, when Krishna is within heart, then we will follow his instruction. Whatever Krishna is teaching, what Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna is teaching. We are all soul, part and parcel of God. This is the understanding. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini suni chaiva chvapakecha panditaha samadarshina. So intelligent person who is equipoised, who sees everyone with equal vision. These are all teachings Krishna is giving. A person who is self-realized will not discriminate on the basis of caste, color, country, religion. He will not discriminate because he knows that he is a living entity, part and parcel of Krishna. He will not be disturbed with the dualities of life, happiness, distress, victory, profit, loss. All these characteristics we have learned in chapter 2. Isthit pragyasya ka bhasha. What are the symptoms? What are the qualities of a person who is self-realized? So we all know about it, right? He is not disturbed in any situation. He is not attached with the result. He is equipoised, equivocal. All these things, these are different qualities. Yes. So he is fully satisfied. No greed, no hankering. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati. A person, one who is at this stage, Brahma bhuta, self-realized soul, na sochati, no lamentation, na kankshati, no desire. This is the stage. Because the person is already purified, so he needs not to do any duty, because duty, this prescribed duty is meant for purification and the person is already purified. In simple terms, if somebody is diseased, he is supposed to take medicine, but the person, if he is already cured, does he require medicine? No medicine is required, right? And this is a small example to understand. But now what Krishna is saying next? Naiva tasya kritenatho na kritena kaschana na chasya sarva bhuteshu kaschid artha vipashaya. A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor has he any reason not to perform such work. This is very important, second point, right? He is not supposed to do any, he means he can renounce from, but even he does not have any reason not to do such activities. Yes? So nor has he any need to dependent on any other living being. So a self-realized person, he is totally dependent on Krishna, right? And he does not have any need, he does not have any reason not to perform his activity. Right? But again, what is saying? So this is a very advanced stage. Tasmad asakta satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hi acharan karma param apnoti purusha. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment, one attains the supreme. So two ways of, like we were discussing about, one person will act with attachment to the fruits or to the result of the activity. And another person, intelligent person, not attached. And he is intelligent person, not attached with the fruits of activity, just doing his duty out of duty. Getting this point? Like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is giving 4 causes why people work, or what is the motivation factor behind any activity we do. What are those motivating factors? Number 1 factor is fear. We do anything out of fear. What will happen? So let me do. If I am doing some job, maybe I have fear, I may lose this job. So let me work sincerely. So motivation is out of fear. And second is out of gain. We are working, we are doing something, because if I do, then I'll get something. Sakam karu. Some desire. So this is another kind of motivation. And third one is out of duty. I'm not attached with the result, because this is my duty, I should do that. God has given me so much, and it is I don't need anything. God has given me more than sufficient, but this is my duty to do something, right? So I'm doing it. And the fourth reason is out of love. Out of love means there is no, this is just doing without any expectation, just for the pleasure of the person I love. So these are the 4 factors. So all the 3 factors, there are some kind of fear, some kind of anxiety will be there. No? But when we do it out of love, then there is no fear, there is no anxiety, because no expectation, anya abhilashita shunyam, no other expectation, just only out of love. So here, anyway, self-realized person, one who is doing his duty just out of duty, no expectations, not attached with the result. Kripana phala hetava. A person who is not self-realized, not knowing the purpose, he is always attached with the result. He is always doing anything just for some gain, some material gain, right? So, and that's why if we have such kind of desires, it is recommended that we should follow the process which is given in the scriptures, so that gradually, eventually we can purify heart and we can reach to this stage, Krishna conscious stage, or Karma Yoga. Action with detachment. This is what we are learning from Bhagavad Gita. Action with detachment. Because attachment is the cause of suffering. If we are attached to the result and we are doing our work, if we do not get result, that will cause anxiety and stress. If we get, then we desire more. We desire more and more. If we do not get, we become angry or we become frustrated. So we don't have to be attached with the result, and we have to perform our duty as an offering to Krishna. So now, when Krishna is explaining, so definitely Arjuna was just thinking, do you have any example, any king or any kshatriya who was working like this and he achieved the perfection of life? Because Krishna knows everything, what is going within. So now what he is saying, karmaneva hi samsiddhim astita janakadaya loka sangraham evapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. Kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. So Krishna is giving an example of Janak Maharaj. Who is Janak Maharaj? Father of Sita Devi. So he is giving example of Janak. That he was a self-realized, he was a pure devotee of the Lord, he was a self-realized person. He was not supposed to do any prescribed duty, but again, being a king, he was fulfilling all his duties. He was doing all his duties. Why? Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Why he was performing his duties? To educate people in general. Yes? People in general. Because if somebody at leader position, if he is doing wrong, so followers will follow the leader And this is very, very important shloka now. Krishna is going to speak. Yad yada acharati sreshtas tattadeva tarojana sayat pramanam kurte lokas tad anuvartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common man follow. A very great learning, right? And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So very important. This is all about leadership. Yad yad acharati sreshthas. Shreshth means leader.
Yes.
Who is leader?
Who can lead, who can inspire people.
Are we leaders?
In our own small ways, yes. And no.
We all are leaders, right? Yes, we are leading. Different levels of leadership we have. I mean, somebody is leading family, somebody is leading society, somebody is leading an organization, somebody is leading a country. If not anyone, at least we are leading ourselves. We all are leaders, right? So anyway, here the example is that this is very, very important role. Being a leader is very, very important role. And we must understand this. What are the qualities of a leader? So like we are understanding. A leader means a self-realized soul. Leader should have all these qualities. He must be self-realized. He must know the scriptures. This is the quality of a leader. He must be detached. He must be free from all dualities. All kinds of negative qualities like greed or hatred. He must be free from all such things. He must be full with ethics and values. A true leader must be having all these qualities. Otherwise, he cannot be a true leader. Yes. So many people are dependent on leaders. So if leader is corrupt, then nobody can save others, right? And Prabhupada is giving a beautiful example that the leader's teaching should be based on the principles of such standard Shastra. Leader must learn from scriptures what is good, what is bad, what is the purpose of life. And that's why you see in Vedic culture, all the kings, they were not just kings, they were known as Raj Rishi, saintly kings. Saintly kings means what? They were ruling as per the instruction, as per the teachings in the scriptures. Then only a better society can be established. And now we see the situation is totally different. Nobody is bothered about. They don't want to even get into scriptures. They don't want to understand. No consultation from spiritual authorities. Simply whatever they think based on their mental concoction or not only mental concoction, but out of greed, out of their personal motivations, they are making rules just to get some. I'm talking about political. Means leaders are there in every field. Even if we see the political leaders, they are simply promising all kinds of things just to meet their personal motives, vote banks, and doing all nonsense activities, which is not at all mentioned in scriptures. Being a king, one has to see how to develop God consciousness in society. And now just for the vote bank, they are giving all such kind of facility which is simply degrading. You can take alcohol at home. You can, so many slaughterhouses are being opened. Wherever you want, you can eat meat. Or so many gambling houses. Even promotion of so much of gambling. They don't know that these activities that will degrade the consciousness, that will pollute the heart, and the person will never be happy. Even in the name of, now I see big stars, we consider them leader. We see them movie stars, they are leaders, right? Whatever they are doing, general people will follow. Most of the young generation, they are simply following the movie stars and what they are doing in their personal life. No character at all. And I got to know that all these big Bollywood stars, they are selling gutka, tobaccos, smoking, drinking. What they are promoting? They are not leaders, they are cheaters. Leader is a very, very responsible role, right? Whatever he is doing, that is an example for general people. So they must be very responsible person of the society. Whatever they are speaking, whatever they are behaving, means in their character, showing in their character, that must be exemplary. Yes. The word, behavior, what is that? I mean, our expression, our example, or behavior is more powerful than our words. What we speak and what we show with our example. So behavior is more powerful. Saint Francis, he used to say to his followers, no, you should constantly preach. You should constantly preach. And wherever necessary, you should speak. You should speak less. You should constantly preach, and wherever necessary, you should speak.
So beautiful.
Yes? Right? Preaching by example.
Leading by example.
Yes, leading by example. Walk the talk. So this is the responsibility of a leader. Walk the talk. We see different leaders. They're saying something, doing something. So what can we expect from such society, such leaders? And Srila Prabhupada, he used to say that the purpose of Krishna conscious society is creating good leaders. This ISKCON society is creating good leaders, because this is what the greatest need of the society. We are lacking leaders, self-realized souls who understand the reality, who can lead without greed, with compassion, with right attitude, God-conscious attitude, can lead the society. And this is what so we all have to do. We all have to first, means like we say, no, journey begins at home, or charity begins at home. So because we all are playing leadership role, so first of all we have to understand self, our true self, and then only we will be able to understand our true self-interest. Many people, they are doing so many things in the name of charity, in the name of social service. That is fine. But without understanding true self, we cannot know what is true self-interest. Many people are not knowing the true self, so engaged in so many activities. That is okay, that is fine. But we can solve the problem from the root only when we understand true self, which is we are learning from Bhagavad Gita. Right? So there are two approaches. One is curing the symptoms, and one is curing the cause. So externally, without knowing the self, if you are doing something, that is simply curing the symptom. But the root cause is still there. The problem of root cause, so the root cause of the problem is still there. But when we educate people and let them understand their true self and their relationship with the Supreme Self, Krishna, yes, that is real help. So being a leader, this is the responsibility to make them aware, to let them become self-realized, creating such kind of atmosphere. Otherwise, as per Srimad Bhagavatam, Guru na sasyat, Janani na sasyat, Pita na sasyat, Daivam na sasyat, like that. Shloka is, the meaning is, anybody, means one is not supposed to become a father or mother or teacher or even demigods until he delivers his dependents from the entanglement of this material world, the cycle of birth and death. So any leader, like father is a leader, mother is a leader, teacher is also leading people. So one who is not able to deliver the dependence from the clutches of Maya, from the sufferings of this material world, from the cycle of birth and death, he must not play such roles. Yes? Because he will damage more. Even somebody is not educated, or somebody is very much educated, very much intelligent. No? Intelligent person, if he is not having right understanding, he can create more damage. And if you see now the disasters in society, even very intelligent people are involved in that. All kinds of, if you see big chaos or big things, not ordinary people. Because intelligent people, they are technologically very advanced and they can create more havoc in society. Because if they do not have right understanding. Yes. So this Krishna conscious education helps us to purify heart and to understand the utility of everything we have in life. Krishna consciousness doesn't reject anything. It's not that now we are technologically advanced or we are doing economical development, it's bad. No, it's not bad. The only thing is we have to understand its utility, how to utilize that in a proper way, in a Krishna conscious way. Right? The same thing can be used and can be misused. It's not the fault of the thing. If you have knife, is it good or bad? Is it good or bad? Knife. Depending upon the use. If you kill that somebody using that knife, that is bad. But if you, like doctors, they are operating using the same knife to help to save somebody. So consciousness is more important. If we do not have ethics, values, or God consciousness, then there is a chance to misuse that power or that facility we have. So that's why it is very, very important to understand the self and to practice that on that platform. This is what Krishna is saying. So Prabhupada at the end here in this purport is saying that. He also gave an example that if father is smoking, can he teach his children don't smoke? Will it work? No. Father is smoking and he is expecting his child not to smoke. So one has to lead by example. So this is our greatest responsibility now, being a parent, being a teacher, or whatever leadership role we have. First we have to work on self. We have to understand our true identity, our true relationship with God, and practice those instructions in life. We have to set example, and we do not have to deviate from there. This is another quality of leadership. Leader means one who is not deviated from his values, from his ethics, from his principles. He is learning. We are learning principles from Bhagavad Gita. So one has to be fixed on that. One has to follow those principles in all situations. Right? So integrity, this is what integrity. Otherwise, if we do not have this understanding, then what will happen? Based on situation, will keep on changing. Some personal motives will drag us from our values. We see outside, no? Based on situation, words are changing. That is not true leadership. So in all situations, we have to maintain our integrity. We don't have to be disturbed. And for that, we need a strong foundation. If foundation is not as strong, the earthquake or a storm will destroy everything. But if our foundation is very strong, ethics, values, principles, if it is there, then situations will not disturb. the temptations or material desire will not disturb from our journey to home or journey to back to home, back to Godhead. This is the goal of life. So all these values, principles, teachings, what we are learning from Bhagavad Gita, we have to understand, we have to accept, we have to practice it, and then our foundation will be very, very strong, and then we will become a true leader. And with our practical behavior, with example, we can teach others how to live a better way of life, a meaningful life, a purposeful life, a life of inner fulfillment. Because if the heart is not filled with love, then definitely filled with love. If love is not there, then the opposite of love is hatred. Hatred will be there. Krishna conscious process is just to fill heart with love. Mother Teresa used to say, the biggest problem of the world is hunger. Not the hunger of belly, hunger of heart. Yes? Not the hunger of belly, hunger of heart. That heart, there is no love, there is greed, there is hatred. Yes? So, such heart can never help. Whatever you have, you can give that only. If you want to give love to others, we should have love. And that love is only possible when we are connected to the source of love, Krishna, God. So when we are in connection with Krishna, our heart will be filled with love. Spirituality is not dry. Spirituality, it is full of bliss. So in relation to Krishna, when we follow his instruction and in association with devotees, when we love Krishna by offering whatever we have, yes, whatever job we are doing, whatever business we are doing, whatever activities we are doing, Krishna is not asking us to stop that. Krishna is simply asking us to offer it to him. That is expression of love. That is devotion. We call it bhakti. Bhakti means expression of love. That I have received from Krishna, everything is coming from Krishna, and let me offer it back to Krishna as a gratitude. This is love. And when we are following this process, we will be always happy. Inner fulfillment will be there. Satisfaction will be there. Atma tushta, Atma ratireva. When we have these qualities, and then by example, by our character, when we lead the society, that will set a good example. Otherwise, with greed, we cannot help others. Right? Now, what Krishna is saying? Okay, another 4 minutes. Na me parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana na anvaptam avaptavyam varta evacha karmani. O son of Partha, Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the 3 planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. Now Krishna is giving his own example. First he gave example of Janak Maharaj. Now he is saying, he is giving his own example. And what he is saying? No work prescribed for me within all the 3 planetary systems. When Krishna spoke like this, Dhritarashtra was shocked. What he is saying? No, anybody, because people think Krishna is an ordinary person. And what he is saying? All the 3 worlds, there is no prescribed duties for him. He was shocked enough. Because Krishna is now just expressing that I am not an ordinary person. I am God. Nor am I want of anything, nor have I a need of obtain anything. He has no need, no desire, but still he is doing his duty. He is God himself. Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate iti matva vachante ma buddha bhava samanita. Krishna is the source of all these spiritual and material emanations. He is saying. And all the scriptures accepted Krishna is the Supreme Personality. He is the cause of all causes. Yes? Suhridam sarvabhutanam bhoktaram yagis tapasham. He is the greatest beneficiary of all the yagyas, all the sacrifices. Maheshwaram, the master of all the creation. And he's saying, I don't have any duty. He's a lawmaker. Lawmaker is not bound by the law. He is free from the laws. But now he's saying, because I'm the supreme, but still I'm doing my duty. I'm here, engaged in prescribed duty. That is just to set example. Yadi hi ham na varteyam jatu karmanya tandrita mam vartman vartante manushya patha sarvasha. For if I ever failed to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Parth, certainly all men would follow my path. So what Krishna is saying, if I do not do prescribed duty, because I am God, I am Father, I am seed-giving Father of all these living entities. If I do not set example, so they will follow my path. Just the same example, if Father is smoking, what the children will do? They will also smoke. Yes. So he is doing just to set example. Yes. Everybody will follow him. Utsideyuri me loka na kuryam karma chedaham sankarasya cha kartasyam upahanyami ma praja. If I did not perform prescribed duties, all these worlds would be put to ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. Yes? What will happen if Krishna is not performing his prescribed duty, or people not following the rules and regulations of the scriptures? What will happen? You remember Arjuna was also giving this example in chapter 1. He said, if all these elderly people, they will be killed in this battlefield, nobody will be there to follow the rules and regulations in family, and the Stri Sudushta Suvarshneya, all the female or the women of the family, they will be polluted, exploited, and unwanted children, Varna Shankara, unwanted children will take birth, and because of unwanted children or the Varna Shankara, the society will be spoiled. There will be chaos in society because nobody will be there to follow the rules and regulations. They will just act whimsically, just to fulfill their sensory, materialistic desires, egoistic desires, and there will be chaos in society. That we can see that happening in society, right? And now Krishna is giving answer to that question. He's saying it's not because if you do not do your duty, that will actually create this chaos. It's not doing the duty, it's not performing the duty, but not performing the duty will create this kind of situation. And that's why Krishna is saying, I am doing my duty. Because if I do not do this, the people in general will not follow. And if they do not follow, Varna Shankara, unwanted children will take place. And that will create chaos in society. Yes. So he is clearing that duty is very, very important. Whatever responsibilities we have to do this. Yes. Sakta karmanya vidvanso yatha kurvanti bharata kurya tatha asakta chikirsu loka sangraham. As the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results, the learned may similarly act but without attachment for the sake of leading people on the right path. Again concluding, Krishna is saying, there is no difference. If you see the work externally, even a devotee, a non-devotee, do you see any external differences? Yes. Externally, a Krishna conscious person is any devotee, you see, they are also maintaining their family, they are also going for their job, they are doing their professional activities, right? All sorts of social activities, personal activities, they are engaged in that. Then what is the difference? Consciousness. Arjuna was also fighting, Duryodhana was also fighting. Arjuna was also killing, Duryodhana was also killing. What is the difference between their killing? They were doing the same job. What is the difference? Yes?
Duryodhana was doing it for self.
For self-sense gratification. For personal motives. Attached to the result. And Arjuna? He was not at all attached to the result. He was totally detached from the very beginning. He was not ready to fight. What is the use of fighting? Even if I become victorious, of the all three worlds, this is not going to pacify me or satisfy me or make me happy. Even he was ready to become a beggar. He was a kshatriya, he was a king. But again, he was ready to become a beggar. He was so much detached. He was not after worldly kingdoms. He was very much detached. But Duryodhana was very much attached. He was not ready to give only 5 villages. But Arjuna was very much detached. So this is the difference between a devotee and non-devotee. Externally, devotees might be engaged in all sorts of activities. Yes, sometimes like devotees go for donations. People think, why? You're a devotee asking for money. But we should understand, yes, they are asking for money, they are asking for services, or they are engaged in all sorts of activities, but we have to understand why they are asking for. They are not asking for their personal sense gratification. They are going to utilize that money in service of Krishna, in preaching the message. And we are coming up with a good, beautiful temple. What is the use of that temple? From temple, what we are going to do? So many leaders we will generate. We will create so many leaders, people, when they will understand their true self and the true purpose of their life. Yes? And how to help others in true sense. So they will go and preach the message of Krishna. That is the purpose. So devotees, whatever they do, the only purpose is to satisfy Krishna. And how Krishna is satisfied? So, pleasing Krishna means spreading the message of Krishna to others so that all others can become truly happy. This is the only purpose. Vaishnava, they can never see others in sufferings. So their only purpose is to make them happy in true sense. Yes, so this is the difference. So next sloka onwards we will discuss later. Now Krishna is giving a very beautiful technique. How to spread Krishna consciousness without disturbing others. Yes, thank you so much. I think this is beautiful learning for us. We have to do our duties, and finally we have to raise our consciousness. We have to become Krishna conscious. Spirituality is simply a transformation. It's not a change of dress. It's not a change of external activities. It's a change, it's a transformation of heart. From arrogance to humility. This is the transformation we need. From hatred to love, and from greed to generosity. Yes. From anxiety to peace. Simply, this is a transformation, and this will happen when we follow these instructions in our life, in association of duty, and it's very simple. Now, this is very important because you know that this is the goal of life, but how to achieve that goal? What to do? It's very simple. Simply being in association with devotees, hearing about Krishna's pastimes, about Krishna's words, celebrating different functions with Krishna and Krishna's devotees, going to the temple, having darshan, participating in kirtan, all these different activities, reading scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam in association with devotees, or when we go to spiritual yatras, all these, you may think like, what is the connection with these things or these qualities? But this is very scientific. Having prasadam with devotees, dancing in association, all these different activities, these are all very scientific activities. Externally, it may look like how this will bring all these transformations within my life. Simply start doing this. Offer food to Krishna and take prasadam. Chant, do kirtan, dance, come to the temple. All these activities, very happening process. It's not that you have to go to some secluded place, sit alone, do some breathing exercise, or for hundreds of years you are doing some kind of austerity. No, this is transcendental austerity. Very enjoying process. You will enjoy whatever desires we have. That enjoyment is already there in spirituality. It's not dry philosophy. It's a very happening process. So sukham kartum abhyayam. Simply chant, dance, and feast. Yeah, I came in Krishna consciousness with these 3 words only. Somebody proposed me. This process is chanting, dancing, and feasting. I said, okay, this is what everyone wants. And yes, and truly that is. Thank you so much. Just participate in this Krishna conscious activity. And definitely we will achieve the perfection of life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you so much, even new participants. Are you new first time?